Okay, so a bit of a change of scenery for me. I'm currently out in Svensby, a town not so far from Tromsø. Whilst I've been out here, I've been thinking about this idea of finding your passion. What is finding your passion? What is it? What does that look like? So in this video, you're going to learn how to find your passion, how to live a life that's well fulfilled, and how to make sure you're paid for the great work that you enjoy doing. My name is Tevin. I'm a careers advisor and personal development specialist with over 7 years of experience supporting people into career progression and also with their personal development too. One thing I hear all far too often is this idea of people feeling paralyzed with finding what it is that they want to do and making a living out of it. Perhaps we know someone that studied something in college or university and they were good at it and they graduated, got a job, and worked in that space for 20, 30, or 40 years. Believe it or not, this isn't so common. Actually, it's quite rare. I know our parents' generation, it might seem like, well, actually, you need to get a good job and go and work in a space that you studied. But actually, things are changing. And in a world where there's so many new opportunities, careers and personal development and purpose and passion, it all looks very different and they're all very interchangeable. I want to introduce to you the idea of an Ikigai. An Ikigai comes from Japan and it translates roughly to reason for being. It's about finding that sweet spot with what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can be paid for, and how they intersect too. Why is this important? Why does this matter? Well, research shows by interlinking all of these factors together, you're living a life more fulfilled, you're happier, your mental health is a lot better. And so it's important that we're overall looking forward to working in that progressive state and figuring out these things just so we are having this purpose, this passion that we're looking for, and we are living a life, like I mentioned, that's well fulfilled. Okay, so I have my notes with me, and we're going to break this down into those four individual steps. So, firstly, what is it that you love? Now, again, I know this is such a broad and audacious topic, but actually, think about what is it that makes time fly for you? What excites you the most? For some people, it might be drawing. For some people, it might be taking a hike, maybe creating ideas, playing an instrument. Write that down. Now, I want you to remember actually these four little circles. We're going to be putting them down with the thing again that is most relevant to us, but it doesn't have to match just yet. And I'll show you how we can link them up together at the end. The second is what you're good at, so your skills. I want you to think about what it is that perhaps you get complimented on the most. For me, it's my speaking skills. For some other people, it might be, again, I don't know, drawing or I want you to think about what it is for yourself. Then you're looking at what the world needs, so that impact. Identify problems that are worth solving for you. So for some people, it might be homelessness, it might be, world hunger, whatever it is, list it down. Again, I know it can be broad and huge. Just put it down for now. And finally, what is it that you can be paid for? So looking at, is it building a business, freelancing, upskilling, etc. Now, once you have all of those individual boxes filled up with whatever it is that you are relevant to you, I suppose, here's where you link it up.
So, the magic is in all of these mini circles, and actually, the goal is to find our ikigai. It's to find this sweet spot where everything in our life kind of interlinks. Oftentimes, people think that whether it's our relationship, our social life, personal life, they're all these individual silos, when actually, there is a sweet spot where they all can link, and that's where, of course, you'd find your ikigai. Now, it's worth, like I mentioned, thinking about what it is that you love. If I had put travel under things that I love, and perhaps creating content, for example, under things that I'm good at, if I link those two things together, maybe I can think of a potential passion. For example, maybe I can create travel content. That's quite popular right now. Similarly, if I had put thinking under what I love, or maybe planning, and perhaps under what the world needs, maybe, okay, for this example, I put to be a better place. So for me, it's planning, thinking, and what the world needs is to be a better place. Now, it's very broad, so I'd advise you and encourage you to think of something a bit more of a focused. In that, I would find my mission. So, for example, it could be something around based on those two examples. Maybe be a better version of myself and enable transformation of others. So maybe creating online content where you're supporting people with this personal development. So once you actually put a list of things that you love, things that you're good at, what you can be paid for, what the world needs, within that you can start matching them up together. So you can start matching up this zone here and this zone here and finding this mission. Again, you can also do the same here with what it is that you can be paid for. And through that you find your vocation. And of course the same rings true for profession. Now, profession is perhaps the category that most of us fall under, or rather the most prominent zone for us. It's the day job, it's the one that pays our bills. For some people, they love their jobs, others might not. And actually, I want to encourage you, if you are in this category, to continue exploring. Now, it's just as life is that perhaps when responsibilities come, we stop being curious. And actually, I want to encourage you, in order to find this sweet spot, you are still having this wonder, you are still trying things, because that's how you're going to find more of this passion, this mission, and of course, the vocation. What piques your interest? Really think about it. Use the internet to search as well. There's nothing wrong with that. It's worth noting that actually an Ikigai is not going to be an overnight task that you perhaps can complete. It might take some time. But that's the beauty of it too, this journey where you're self-discovering what it is that you're good at and things that perhaps surprise you about yourself. There's something beautiful about that. So stay curious, and as you are exploring, do list these things in each of these zones that stand true to you. I promise you, you'll actually surprise yourself in the end, and eventually, of course, find your Ikigai.
Now, I know this idea of finding your passion is incredibly broad, but actually, it's about just starting something. You oftentimes find that once you start something, inspiration finds you. Inspiration, it follows this motion, this energy that's going. But don't lay vacant, actually start something. And you'll find that you might meet someone that might inspire you to do something else, or you might go to an environment that triggers an emotion or a feeling for you. Just start something. Think about what it is that you want to do right now, not what you want to do in maybe 5 years or 10 years. Although I know that's the most popular advice that you'd be given. Think about what it is you want to do right now. And let's base our Ikigai off that. How can we link them up together? One of the best advice I was ever given was look at happiness as an emotion rather than a destination. You often ask people what they want to do, and they'll just say, I just want to be happy. Well, happiness is an emotion, just like anger is, or fear, or resentment. Happiness can be brought on by doing, little things that make you happy, like we've identified in our Ikigai. We want to do more of those things, obviously, but I want you to look at happiness as an emotion, not a destination. That's going to be a key tip for us. Now that we've identified that happiness is an emotional state rather than a destination, we can actually draw back, these underlying ideologies that we've been given, perhaps as we've been growing up. We can be happy doing the things like mentioned in our Ikigai. What we want to do, however, is really draw back, peel these layers and see what it is that we're good at, what the world needs, and figure out how all these interlink with each other. So this is much more of a shorter video, but if you like the video, please give it a like. I'd love to hear about maybe one of the things that you found from your Ikigai. That'd be really interesting, actually. Do feel free to subscribe to see a lot more videos like this one, and also on this idea of personal development and this journey that I'm taking too. Thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you in the next video.